Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. Here is Asma Shaheen, Education Wali from Berhan School Islamabad campus. So, as you know, we are doing our teacher training book 1 task. So, here is another very interesting task that we have to do with Sis and Maya. And the topic is about discussing artificial intelligence in everyday life with system. So, let's call to Maya and start discussing. Hi, Maya.
Hi, hope your Wednesday is going all right so far.
Yeah, Maya. Let's start another interesting topic with you. And the topic is about discussing artificial intelligence in everyday life.
Ooh, nice. That's a pretty broad one. AI is everywhere now, isn't it? Where do you want to start with that?
Yeah, I just want to start with basic understanding. How would you explain artificial intelligence to someone who has never heard it before?
Okay, good place to start. So, basically, artificial intelligence is about creating computer systems that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Things like learning, problem solving, decision making, speech recognition, and visual perception. It's not about robots taking over the world, at least not yet. It's more about building machines that can analyze data, identify patterns, and make predictions, all without explicit programming for every single scenario. Think of it as, teaching a computer to think, or at least to mimic thinking. Does that make sense as a starting point?
Yeah, it makes sense. What's
Ah,
the difference between
gotcha.
artificial
Anything in
and
particular?
normal computer programs?
Okay, good question. So, a normal computer program follows a set of instructions that a programmer has explicitly written. If you tell it to do X, it does X. Simple as that. Artificial intelligence, though, is different. Instead of being explicitly programmed for every task, AI systems learn from data. They identify patterns and adjust their behavior accordingly. So, instead of telling it exactly how to do X, you give it a bunch of examples of X and it figures it out itself. It's the learning part that's key. That's what makes AI different. It's less about following rules and more about recognizing patterns and making predictions. Does that distinction make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, Sam. So, AI in the home, let's discuss. What are the some common artificial tools we use at home without realizing it?
Ah, that's a good one. We're surrounded by it, really. Okay, so think about things like smart speakers, Amazon Echo, Google Home. Those use AI for voice recognition. Streaming services like Netflix and Spotify use AI to recommend shows and music you might like. Even spam filters in your email are powered by AI, learning to identify unwanted messages. Smart thermostats like Nest use AI to learn your heating and cooling preferences and optimize energy usage. And honestly, even things like the autocomplete feature on your phone uses AI to predict what you're going to type. It's pretty sneaky how it's woven into everyday life, isn't it? Do any of those surprise you?
Okay. Can you explain
Hmm?
how smart
Still
home
there?
devices like Alexa and Google Assistant use artificial intelligence?
Absolutely. So, Alexa and Google Assistant rely heavily on a few different AI technologies. First, speech recognition. They need to understand what you're saying, even with different accents or background noise. That's a huge area of AI called natural language processing or NLP. Then they use natural language understanding to figure out the intent behind your request. Are you asking a question, giving a command, or something else? After that, they have to access information, which often involves machine learning to provide the most relevant answer. Finally, they use text to speech to respond to you in a natural sounding voice. It's a lot happening behind the scenes in a split second. Essentially, they're constantly learning and improving their ability to understand and respond to you based on your interactions. It's all about making the interaction feel seamless and intuitive. Does that breakdown make sense?
Yeah, Maya, it makes sense. How does artificial
Ah,
intelligence help us save time or energy in our homes?
okay. So there are a bunch of ways. Smart thermostats, like we mentioned, learn your habits and adjust the temperature automatically, saving energy and money. Smart lighting systems can turn lights on and off based on occupancy or time of day. AI powered appliances like washing machines or dishwashers can optimize cycles to use less water and energy. Even robot vacuums use AI to navigate your home and clean efficiently. And things like smart plugs can turn off devices that are drawing phantom power when they're not in use. It's all about automating tasks and optimizing resource usage. It kind of takes the thinking out of daily chores, you know? What feels most impactful to you thinking about those examples?
Yeah, I agree with you. How
Ah,
is artificial
good.
intelligence used in our smartphones every day?
Oh, everywhere. Every fun. Okay. So your phone is a powerhouse of AI. The camera uses AI for things like scene recognition, automatically adjusting settings for better photos. Facial recognition uses AI to unlock your phone and organize your photos. Voice assistants like Siri and Google Assistant, of course. But it goes deeper than that. Your phone uses AI for predictive text, suggesting what you're going to type next. It uses AI to manage battery life, learning which apps you use most, and optimizing power consumption. Even apps like Google Maps use AI to predict traffic patterns and suggest the fastest routes. It's also used in spam filtering for calls and texts and to identify potential security threats. Basically, your phone is constantly using AI to make your life easier and more efficient, often without you even realizing it. It's kind of spooky when you think about it, all that's happening in the background. Anything there that particularly surprised you?
Yeah, it surprised me. What role does artificial intelligence plays in apps like Google Maps or YouTube?
Okay, so Google Maps and YouTube are fantastic examples of AI in action. In Google Maps, AI is used to predict traffic patterns, estimate travel times, and suggest the best routes, considering things like accidents and road closures. It also uses AI to identify businesses and points of interest based on images and user reviews. It even powers the live view feature that uses your camera to overlay directions onto the real world. On YouTube, AI powers the recommendation algorithm, suggesting videos you might like based on your viewing history. It also uses AI for automatic captioning, content moderation, and identifying copyright infringements. Honestly, it's the AI that makes both of those apps so personalized and useful. Without it, they'd be, well, much less helpful, wouldn't they? Does that make sense how it's working in those apps?
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you for very informative answer. So next, my question is that how do platforms like Netflix and Spotify use AI to suggest content?
Ah, that's a great one. Okay, so Netflix and Spotify are masters of recommendation. They use a couple of different AI techniques. First, collaborative filtering. Basically, they look at what users with similar tastes have watched or listened to and recommend content based on that. Then, content based filtering. They analyze the characteristics of the content itself, like genre, actors, or musical style, and recommend things that are similar to what you've enjoyed before. They also use machine learning to constantly refine their recommendations based on your feedback. Things like whether you actually watch or listen to something, or whether you give it a thumbs up or down. It's a really complex system, constantly learning and adapting to your preferences. The reason you can get lost down a rabbit hole of recommendations. Honestly, it's almost a bit too good sometimes. Have you ever been surprised by a recommendation that was completely different from what you expected?
Yeah, I agree with you. How
Oh,
is artificial
right.
intelligence used when we shop online?
Okay, so online shopping is practically built on AI these days. First, Recommendation engines, like on Amazon, suggest products you might like based on your browsing history and past purchases. Then, AI powers personalized ads showing you products that are relevant to your interests. It's also used for fraud detection, identifying and preventing fraudulent transactions. Chatbots provide customer support, answering your questions, and helping you find what you need. AI also powers dynamic pricing, adjusting prices based on demand and competition. And increasingly, AI is being used for visual search, allowing you to upload a picture of something you want and find similar products online. It really is transforming the whole shopping experience, making it more personalized and convenient. It's pretty wild how much is happening behind the scenes, right?
Let's discuss some
What about your
awareness
own
and
experience with
concerns.
online shopping?
Do
Have
you
you
think people are aware of how much artificial intelligence is in their daily lives?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I don't think most people are fully aware. They see the benefits, the convenience, the personalization, but they don't necessarily realize how much AI is working behind the scenes to make those things happen. I think there's a bit of a misconception about how AI works. Most people think AI is just automating tasks, but AI is actually helping humans solve complex problems faster and more efficiently. AI doesn't just automate tasks, it creates opportunities for humans to think creatively, innovate, and solve complex problems.
Actually, the internet is not working properly. So trying to connect with my yeah, we were discussing that. Do you think people are aware of how much AI is in their daily lives?
Still there? Sorry, sometimes the connection,
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
little
The
spotty.
next is, should be we worried about artificial intelligence collecting too much of our personal data?
That's a really good question and a totally valid worry. It's definitely something to be thinking about. Okay, so AI systems, no worries at all. It happens.
Yeah, yes,
Everything
please
okay on your end?
continue. Should we worried about AI collecting too much for our personal data? Please discuss it.
Right. Sorry about that little blip. Okay, so should we be worried about AI collecting too much of our personal data? Absolutely. It's a legitimate concern. AI thrives on data. The more it has, the better it can learn and perform. But that data often includes really personal stuff, like your browsing history, location, purchasing habits, even your health information. And the thing is, that data can be used in ways you don't anticipate or even agree with. Targeted advertising is one thing, but it could also be used for things like price discrimination or even to manipulate your behavior. There's also the risk of data breaches, where your personal information could fall into the wrong hands. Now, there are regulations in place, like GDPR, to protect your data, but they're not always enough. It's kind of a cat and mouse. Sorry, I trailed off there. It's a complicated issue. But basically,
Okay,
yeah, we
my
should be
last
concerned.
question from you
It's
is
not
what's
about
one
AI being,
amazing way might make everyday life easier in next 5 years? What's one amazing way AI might make everyday life easier in next 5 years?
ooh, okay, one amazing way AI might make everyday life easier in the next 5 years. I'm going to say personalized education, but taken way further than it is now. But imagine an AI that truly understands your learning style, your strengths, your weaknesses, and creates a custom learning path for anything you want to learn. Cooking, planning, it would really democratize access to knowledge and information.
Okay, Maya, I understand well.